From Cincinnati's WLWT, leading the way, this is WLWT News 5 at noon.
We begin this noon with new information after a toddler falls into the gorilla enclosure at the Cincinnati Zoo. Good afternoon. I'm Megan Mitchell.
And I'm Sheree. Paolello. We do have some new details for you tonight about how that 3-year-old little boy is doing and what the family is now asking you to do to help remember Harambe.
Yeah, many continue to call for action on social media. Support for what petitioners called Harambe's Law has now totaled more than 149,000 people, closing in on the goal of 150,000 supporters. This petition is pushing for legal consequences when an endangered animal is harmed or killed due to the negligence of visitors. Change.com lists more than 30 petitions connected to this case. One Ohio mother who's never even set foot in the Cincinnati Zoo is now caught in the middle of this online outrage. She apparently shares the same name with the local mother involved in Saturday's deadly encounter. We're not releasing her name. WLWT has also not released the name of the little boy or his actual mother because she's received death threats. The mistaken woman says the few similarities she shares with the mom made her a target.
I received multiple messages that were meant for her. And I cannot believe how many people thought that killing Harambe was wrong and it should have been her son that died instead.
The woman says she's made several adjustments to her social media. She also says it's a shame that all the hate comments probably have forced the mother to take a low profile. And we now have complete coverage of the death of Harambe on WLWT.com and on our mobile app. You can find exclusive photos and the full video from a witness on our website.
A man hit by a car in Claremont County Monday night has died from his injuries. 53-year-old Kevin Hamilton was walking along State Route 133 in Franklin Township when he was hit. No word on if the driver is going to be facing any charges.
An Anderson Township man faced a judge this morning after police say he fired shots at officers. Bond was set at $500,000 after investigators say 35-year-old William Holtman fired shots at officers Monday night. They had been called out to Pamela Drive for reports of a suicidal man. No one was hurt. Holtman is facing several charges, including inducing panic. Hundreds of law enforcement officers are expected to ride through the streets of Cincinnati in honor of fallen officer Sonny Kim. The first ever memorial ride for Kim will happen on June 11th. The ride will start and end at Harley-Davidson of Cincinnati along Tennessee Avenue. The 46-mile ride will stop at the Gate of Heaven Cemetery where Kim is buried. Proceeds from the ride will go to the Kim family.
Cincinnati firefighters spring into action responding to an apartment fire in Mount Auburn. 6 people had to be rescued from the building, and we have exclusive video for you of those rescue efforts. It all happened along McGregor Avenue last night. Now, firefighters had to use ladders to try and get to the children who were trapped on the 3rd floor. A pregnant woman and a mother carrying her 2-week-old baby were also among the 6 people who were rescued again last night.
The Newport skyline could soon look very different. A sky wheel is coming to Newport on the levee, and we now have video to show you what it'll look like. So the observation wheel will rise more than 235 feet above the Ohio River. It'll include climate-controlled gondolas in a Ferris wheel style ride, and the $10 million project is now set to open in the summer of 2016. And we're getting the numbers from the Taste of Cincinnati. And the officials say that the crowd this year matched the attendance record of 550,000 people. The 3-day event featured 35 restaurants, 15 food trucks, and 265 menu items. It also includes 72 beers and 50 entertainers. More than $18,000 will be donated to Cincinnati's State Culinary Institute. Another $2,500 will support Cincinnati's Finland Market Kitchen, which works with entrepreneurs to help our local food ecosystem. Next year's Taste is set for May 27th, 28th, and 29th. More money is flowing into northern Kentucky to fight teen drug addiction, and the Kentucky Attorney General Andy Beshear delivered a check for $450,000 to the Children's Home.
That's right. So Children's Home of Northern Kentucky will be benefiting here. The money is going to fund more drug abuse treatment programs. The Attorney General says investing now in fighting the heroin epidemic will cut down on future costs for the Commonwealth.
You see it in Northern Kentucky every day. You are overrun with heroin and other drugs. It has impacted every single one of your families, and it continues to do so. But I'll tell you, the epidemic has gotten so wide and so broad, it has now impacted every family in the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Came from a settlement between Kentucky and Purdue Pharma, the maker of the prescription painkiller OxyContin. Well, we are hearing more and more about this, and now a baby born in the United States with Zika-related birth defects.
Yeah, what we know now about the birth and the baby's condition and how the mother contracted the virus.
And water rescues continue. Texas city's flooding with more and more rain. How a news crew was able to help a stranded driver when we come back.
You're watching Cincinnati's WLWT News 5, leading the way.
Dramatic video of a Dallas, Texas driver stuck in floodwaters. Aerial video shows the man on his car waving his hat to a news helicopter. He's surrounded by high water, his vehicle almost completely submerged. Moments later, rescuers reached the man, tossed him a life jacket, and brought him into the boat.
Yeah, and unfortunately today the flood problems are just getting worse in East Texas after days and days of rain.
Yes, hundreds have been evacuated in the small towns around Houston, and now the outlook is not looking good. Jay Gray is in Richmond, Texas with more.
Hey there, look, the situation here along the Brazos River, dire right now. It is crested at just over 54 feet, 3 feet higher than the previous record. Take a look at what it's doing to neighborhoods along the river here. You can see swallowed by the floodwaters here, and this is going to stay for quite some time. We're getting a much needed break in the rain right now. That's the good news, but the forecast brings some bad news here. More rain expected through the week. Some of the hardest hit areas like this one have already seen 10 inches of rain in just 72 hours. We know that over the next few days.
Developing now, an update in the case of a crashed Egypt airplane. Investigators say a French ship has picked up signals presumed to be from those black boxes of the plane. And if these are found, it could help explain what caused the plane to go down in the Mediterranean Sea. A baby with Zika-related birth defects was born in New Jersey. Hackensack University Medical Center confirmed the birth. The baby's mother contracted the Zika virus in another country and is in the United States on a visit. The baby was born with microcephaly, an abnormally small brain and head. Health officials have been monitoring at least 279 pregnant women with Zika in the U.S.
Just an awful story here. A Cincinnati area woman has died in a snorkeling incident on her honeymoon. Newlyweds Christina Spaulding and her high school sweetheart Michael Earls were celebrating their marriage with Michael's family on a trip to the Cayman Islands. The Spaulding's family says that she got into some sort of trouble while snorkeling and was pronounced dead at the hospital 2 hours later. Spaulding's family says that they are, of course, shocked by her sudden death and that she was just very comfortable in the water and they didn't expect this. The death remains under investigation.
First on WLWT, a memorial could be coming down in Westchester Township dedicated to a utility worker hit and killed on the job. Amber Rook's family says her son visits the cross on Cox Road about 3 times a week. In the last place, it was the last place that she was alive, but township leaders are concerned the 6-foot memorial is a distraction in the public right-of-way.
That it's such a memorial spot for a little 9-year-old boy. If this is the only place he finds happiness and relaxation, then why not just leave it? It's not hurting anyone.
Westchester Township officials expect to know by the end of the week if the memorial is in the way of the right-of-way. There you go. The township says no one has filed complaints about the cross.
All right, shifting gears now to the weather. A sticky day out there, but not a bad day today.
Not too bad at all. Meteorologist Kevin Robinson has more. Kevin.
Yeah, you know what? It's going to feel more and more like summer around here, but we've got changes coming for the weekend. Make big weekend plans coming up Saturday and Sunday. Get ready for some cooler stuff. I mean, I'm sure you're probably a fan of a little bit cooler weather than the heat and humidity now.
A lot better than North Dakota, I'll tell you that.
And it looks like as we head into the forecast here, I tell you what, let's look outside and you'll see temperatures right now generally in the 70s, upper close to 80 in some areas, and it looks like humidity is going to stay on the high side. I'm also tracking some thunderstorms, which could bring in a little bit of rain later on this evening. So if you have plans on heading down to some of the outdoor activities this afternoon, maybe down towards the Serpentine Wall there for some party in the park today, get ready, maybe bring an umbrella, especially if you're going to be hanging out anytime after about 7 or 8 o'clock this evening. Chances for rain will begin to increase. So it looks like heading into the weekend. We get a little rain tonight and then cooler weather by Saturday and Sunday.
All right, after today, we will take it, as sticky as it was out there.
Yeah, and we're not quite ready for June and July just yet.
All right, Kevin, thank you. Well, this is so cool that our city has really become Hollywood here lately. Cincinnati once again in the spotlight, a movie or the next movie to be shot here this coming summer.
Also, the end of an era in Mason, the band director stepping down, what band members are saying about their former director.
How long have you been in Bismarck?
So I've been in Bismarck since 2014. It's been almost 2.5 years now.
Yeah?
Yes.
Where are you from, though?
I'm originally from Connecticut, just outside of New York City, so big difference.
All right, so you're in Cincinnati. I don't know like when you even got here, but what,
Sure.
what do you think? Why Cincinnati? Why would you want to come here?
Yeah, so Cincinnati is, well, first of all, when you look at that skyline outside, I'm like, this is such a city, you know, it's bustling, and there's just so much news here, and it's valuable and important news. And not saying that anything anywhere else in the world is not important or valuable, but I think a lot of the stories that you cover in the market is very news heavy, and I really like that about Cincinnati.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about what you're doing now and what you're wanting to do here. What are your goals?
Sure. Here? So I'm currently the morning anchor in Bismarck, North Dakota. So that's the weekday, 5 days a week.
So you're ready to come to the right side? Maybe come to the right side. Get off those mornings and
better hours.
Sleep.
Exactly. I know. I really do enjoy those hours though, because you know it gives me a chance to take my dog out, you know, during the daylight hours. Right. So it's actually kind of nice, but they also are mornings, night hours. So of course I'm going to bed at 5 p.m. I'm waking up at 2. With that said, you know, I kind of don't mind. If I work 8 hours a day, I work 8 hours a day. It doesn't really matter when it is.
So when you come here, you hope to, what do you want to do now?
Yeah, so
On the mornings there, what do you want to do here?
Yeah, so I honestly will take kind of any type of shift. It doesn't really matter time of day to me. But I think the main thing was that I wanted both anchoring and reporting experience in whatever endeavor I go into.
To keep going at what you're doing
Exactly.
already.
I just want to grow, improve in both those capacities.
You're adorable, and I know we've had a couple of bumps up here, and you've handled it great. So,
thank you.
All right. Thanks for being here.